Hello, good morning. I wanted to bring you on today. I have a guest. Her name is Kiki Tyler, and she is a spiritual marketer, a Reiki master teacher, and a sound weaver. And she's going to teach us some things that relate to everything that we've been talking about. So let me bring Kiki on. There she goes. Yay!
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing well. How are you doing?
I'm good. I was just telling everybody what you do, but tell us a little bit more about you.
Yes, I think I heard you go over my titles. So, in a nutshell, I started out in fitness and have found my way into energy healing and focus more on a holistic approach to connecting the mind, body, and spirit and living in alignment.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that I talk all the time about being in alignment with our mindset and with our bodies and how powerful that can be. So please tell us what you're going to share with us today because I'm super excited about it.
I've been thinking about this since you and I talked, and I'm like, there's so many directions you can go in, but the three areas that people come to me for assistance are usually around stress and anxiety, sleep, and body aches and pains.
Yes.
And they're all interconnected, right? You fix one, the others are still there. So kind of working on them in tandem. And that's how I actually came to sound healing. I knew I was out of alignment. It was 2020, we were on lockdown and didn't realize how much I hadn't processed emotionally. You know, we were isolated. A dear friend of mine was diagnosed with cancer and she passed at the end of 2020. We got to spend a lot of time together, and she's one of my spirit guides, so she's always with me. But I was able to go to a women's retreat, and it was a fitness, wellness. We did sunrise yoga. There were some Reiki masters there and a sound healer, and she was doing 15-minute chakra alignments with her tuning forks. And I was like, I don't know what that is. It sounds cool. Let's try it. And so she just had me lay down on the couch. She came over, did an assessment. I had a raging headache and low back pain. And after 15 minutes, both were gone, and they were gone for the rest of they didn't come back. It wasn't like, you take an Advil or aspirin and it goes away for a little bit and then it comes back. They were gone. So that was kind of my, oh, I need to learn way more about this. And that was just on a surface level, right? It impacted me physically first. And then that's what started my road down sound healing and frequency and vibration knowledge. I played piano for 12 years growing up. I played flute. I love music. I've danced, and I'm a mood music person. People ask me what my favorite song is. I can never answer that question. Depends on the day and the time and where my mind and heart are. So sound healing has been extremely therapeutic and helpful for me. I have slowly added on to my instruments that I offer. I do digital sound baths and connect with people virtually as well as in person. And it's been really magical. The feedback is my favorite part. I worked with a woman over the weekend, and she was just feeling overwhelmed and stressed from work. And no matter what she did, she couldn't seem to turn off the brain. So she reached out to me and said, let's do a quick 30-minute virtual session. She, at the end of it, she was laughing and giddy, and she was like, I want to go dance in the rain barefoot. This is amazing. And she loved that. She's like, I didn't have to talk about work. It's not like a therapy session, and I'm not knocking therapy, but sometimes I think there's this stigma like, oh, I don't want to go back into that. I don't want to feel that feeling. And I love sound therapy because you don't have to. You just let it go. And the waves and the frequencies of the different instruments played kind of just take it away, and it just floats out of your body.
I love that. I love that. I've talked about how just sitting with your emotions and feeling them and letting them go rather than trapping them inside of us, and what damage that does when we trap them inside because we don't want to deal with them. We don't want to deal with the hard emotions. We don't want to deal with those tough sad, depressing emotions that cause us so many issues. So we suppress them. And I love the beauty of how you're able to bring that out for people and let them move through them and out rather than staying stuck inside because of the damage it causes.
Yeah.
I love it.
I want to shout out Maurice is here. He's one of my sound healing instructors. I went to his
Oh,
certification. It was awesome. Maurice Carroll, he's on here. So follow him. Wealth of knowledge. Like, he's been doing this so much longer and fascinating. He helped unlock my ears. So now it's like I can't unhear certain things, whether it's music or even out in like for a walk. I can hear cars many streets over. I can't hear highways far away. It's amazing what you can do when you train your ear.
the body, it just never ceases to amaze me. That's new to me. And it's amazing because our bodies have the ability to heal, but look at all the other amazing things that we have the capability of doing, of hearing like that, once we give our bodies what they need and learn how to do it. And it can be very simple. And that's the best part. I try to simplify everything, and everything sounds so difficult. And we live in such a crazy hustle bustle world and people don't want to make time, but it can be so easy. And what you're doing sounds like a beautiful way to help people live in that peaceful, holistic life, that everything is connected. We're all intertwined in our bodies and our minds and everything. I love it.
Thank you. That's one of the reasons I love it. It's non-invasive, and it puts you back in the driver's seat of your own health, right?
Yes.
And, I tell a lot of my clients, you don't need an hour or a 90-minute sound bath. If you want it, go get it, because they're amazing. But 5-10 minutes a day. And it's like an instrument or a car, right? You need that tune-up to stay in alignment. We go get our oil change because it's something we use. We live in our body and in our mind a lot of times more than our body. So I feel like the sound helps ground me. I know that's very buzzy right now, like staying grounded, but it's so important to get out of the head and into the body. It has so many answers for us, but there's this disconnect and we don't listen to it like we used to.
Right.
I'll take my niece, for example. She's 7. Things are yummy or yucky, right? There's no in between. If she doesn't want to do something, she has that very firm boundary. If something hurts, she knows exactly where in her body and she can describe it in great detail. No fear, just, mommy, my tummy hurts. Well, it hurts. Well, it's gurgling, or,
Yeah.
oh, I bumped my elbow. And then something happens as we age, the hashtag adulting, and we start to get farther and farther away from the signals our body sends us. Not always,
Right.
but I feel like, you're on that hamster wheel, and it's like work and the kids and significant other and all the things. And I think like the great unplugging of 2020 helped a lot of us kind of take a step back and let the dust settle and really go, oh, do I really want to live like this or continue to live like this? Or what changes can I make that will impact my health and my wealth?
Right.
Yeah. So,
Well, just being able to reevaluate where we are and where we want to be. Do we want to live the chaotic, stressed, overwhelmed, anxious crazy mind, and that disconnect, like you said, we're not our minds and bodies are connected so much, but we think they're disconnected. We treat the mind and all of that chaos and everything one way, but all of that is actually being stored in the body when we repress it. So we're not treating both when we have symptoms. And as we age, we get more symptoms. And it's because everything compounds over the years, like you said with your niece. I mean, it's just that innocence is beautiful. And bringing ourselves back to that innocence and getting to the root of what's going on can be very simple and doable. And I love your approach. It's absolutely awesome.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I struggle still with stress and anxiety. I was diagnosed with general anxiety disorder back in college. So that still pops up every now and then, but I go sit and play with my bowls for 5 minutes and it's gone. And it's like settled. It just, what it does to help you regulate your central nervous system, to me, is just mind blowing and such a gift. You don't have to always go to a doctor, not knocking doctors, but you don't always have to get that pharmaceutical fix. Like, there are natural, holistic things that are easily accessible to you on a daily basis. And it doesn't take a lot of time, because that's another factor I think you mentioned. We are busy. We all have different priorities. We're stretched thin, pulled in multiple directions. It's the day in life we live in, right?
Yeah.
And our attention span has shortened. I mean, when I started teaching Zumba 18 years ago, a lot of the songs were almost 5 minutes or longer. And now you're lucky if they're 3 minutes. Most are 2.5 minutes. A lot of the songs you listen to on the radio, they're so fast, So it's interesting to see the evolution.
Oh,
And then you have social media and technology. Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that you touched on the nervous system, because I've talked about that and regulating, like we've talked about, the busy lifestyle and everything causes us sometimes to live in that survival mode. And our nervous system gets stuck in that survival because we're so busy distracting ourselves with other things like social media, or distracting ourselves by staying even more busy, even though we think we're busy and we think the solution is to just keep pushing through and to keep going and stay more busy. But we're actually not taking the time to slow down. Just slow down. Not every day, it's not doable,
Right.
but just once in a while to slow down and do the sound healing or do whatever works, just so that it's short, it can be simple, and it helps regulate our nervous system, which regulates everything else in our body. So when we pull ourselves out of that survival mode and get in alignment, like we talked about, it is a beautiful, peaceful world that you want to, like, I'm sure you do too, just shout it from the rooftops of,
Yeah.
like, it can be so much easier. It can be so much better. It's not perfect. We struggle, just like you said, I struggle with things too. We all struggle, but it doesn't have to be that way all the time in survival, go, 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 go mode. It can
Yes.
be a lot easier.
I'm glad you brought that up. The fight, flight, or freeze, like, it's causing, you probably come across this too, like the adrenal fatigues, particularly in women. And we don't even realize the amount of, I didn't realize that amount of stress that I was putting on my body in this hustle and grind. Like you said, we pull up our big girl pants and we get it done, because that's what we always do. But it is easy. It can be taking a few deep breaths. It can be sitting down and meditating for a few minutes. I'm a wiggler. I can't sit still, so I tend to do more Tai Chi and Qigong, more energy-related small movements. But find what works for you. Like, I think about it as what's in your toolbox. And maybe today it's a sound bath, and maybe tomorrow it's a walk in nature, or just getting your feet in the dirt, or taking a bath, or listening to binaural beats on YouTube for a few minutes while you do some deep breathing. Like, what tools do you have that you can draw from to hit that easy button and get back into a state of flow instead of force? I've been paying more attention to my actions, and okay, is this coming from something I want to do, need to do, have to do, or is there an easier way?
Right. Absolutely. There's other options that we can choose, and things that we can try that can be 5 minutes. I always say pick one thing, 1 minute, one time a day. Like, just start there. If you're not going to start anywhere else, it's just an easy one.
Yeah.
If it's one thing you're going to try, which is, like you mentioned, a walk in nature, it's free.
Mm-hmm.
It's available to anybody and everybody, and just do it one time a day. Pick that one thing if that's what works for you. If you hate it, you don't want to be outside or want to be in nature, try something else. But there's so many options now. We have so much knowledge available to us to have that holistic, whole-rounded way of kind of rejuvenating ourselves and not having to age ourselves with all this chronic stress and hustle, which just totally destroys so many systems in our body and causes more symptoms as we age, because it's just compounding. It's constantly adding on, and instead of ever getting to that root of what's going on and releasing the emotion, if that's what it is, or slowing ourselves down if we're too busy once in a while, it can be super.
They say the issues are in the tissues, whether that's tension, anxiety, stress, or trapped emotion. Sound doesn't judge. It doesn't say this is good and this is bad. It just takes it away, which I love. So do you want to play for a moment? Do you want to?
Yes, I would love to.
So I love chimes. I grew up with chimes my whole life. My grandparents would take me to the beach. I remember buying different seashell chimes. So I have the elements, and I was drawn to the water chime today. So very specific chords. So if you're here watching, not driving, not playing with machinery. If you want to drop in with us, you can close your eyes and take a few deep breaths and listen to the chimes. So, is that coming through?
Yeah.
All right. So I like to put my hand on my heart, close my eyes, take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And as you exhale through the mouth, sigh. And do that twice more. Inhale. And once more, deep breath. Let those shoulders relax as you exhale. And let it go.
Beautiful.
So sometimes it's just a matter of a few seconds, a few breaths. It does not have to be anything an hour long. I think we tell ourselves that we have to do it for half an hour or an hour, especially coming from the fitness world, right? I had folks that were like, if it wasn't an hour, it didn't count. Like, no, I can kick my own butt in 20 minutes. So I have, I've recorded quick little 5-minute tune-ups, 10 and 12-minute like resets, deep body relaxation. So I've gone deeper into the frequencies and which ones to use. And I've really been working with them both in the morning and at night. My struggle was at night with getting the monkey mind to slow down. I was exhausted, right? We all are. And just staring at the ceiling until 2 a.m. I tried like the CBD gummies, the melatonin, cutting off the blue screens 3 hours before bed, like all the things. And playing certain frequencies before bed causes your brain waves to drop into that sleep, the restorative sleep state, and you can't fight it. Yeah. Which is awesome.
It's just so relaxing. I mean, it just truly just relaxes your whole body. And when you do that, you get so much more clarity. You can be more creative. You can jump and get in alignment with your mindset and think how much more productive we are after we take those few seconds that you just did. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready for my day. I'm pumped. Like I can get all this stuff done. And just taking those few seconds, it just makes a big difference rather than what I used to do was push through. I thought I was tough. I thought, okay, I'm a strong woman. I can push through anything. I can put my stubborn mind on and I can just keep going and keep doing. And I thought that was the way to go. I thought, hey, I'm great at this survival thing. I can do this. But it wasn't until I hit my version of rock bottom and realized that that's not the way to go. It causes so many more problems, and it's like it's your own version of your side effects,
right,
of doing that. So I love just having those few seconds to just take the deep breaths, listen to those beautiful sounds that bring your body so much more calm, and how much more productive are you, and how much more you can get done in your busy world when you take those few seconds. It's awesome.
Absolutely. And I hadn't realized how, we use the word stuck a lot. And my creativity was blocked. There was too much going on. There was too much noise. It's like you have that jar of water and it's got the dirt swirling around.
Right.
Well,
yes.
You can't see through the glass until all the dirt settles, and then you have clear vision. And that's what the sound helps my brain do, is settle it down. And then all of a sudden I can see the forest through the trees, and I have clarity on what is a priority, and then it really started to blossom and explode in the areas of creativity for me.
Right. Yeah. It's the way that opens it up. Things that were blocked you can see them. You can actually do them. I just did it last night. I wanted to do more work. It was late and I could feel my body getting exhausted. And I'm like, the old mindset would be like, suck it up, put on your big girl pants. You got to do this. Right. It has to get done. And then my new mindset was, you know what? Let's take the time to relax tonight, start fresh, hit the ground running tomorrow. Like, take the time so that I can be more productive tomorrow. Because if I would have pushed through, I'd have been more exhausted today, and it would have trickled down and caused more problems for me today, and not had that clarity to be able to see and to do. And I did. I took a bath last night, which I haven't in a while, and it was amazing. And then today I'm like, I feel so like energized. I'm like, okay, I can get so much done today. My mood is improved. which wasn't last night because I was really grumpy thinking about all the things I wanted to do and didn't really want to do.
Right.
And it's just amazing what taking that time can do.
It's so true.
So,
It's almost like six of one, half a dozen of the other. You're like, I don't want to take the time cut because I won't be able to do XYZ. But then you take the time and then XYZ doesn't seem so bad.
right, right. It's not so overwhelming. And
Yeah.
I don't have that overwhelming feeling of my shoulders start to rise and that tension starts to set in and the extra stress that I'm putting on myself because of the pressures that we put on ourselves to be so productive and to get so many things done in a day instead of it does all get done. It really does. Even when we take those breaks, we
Yes.
don't think we have time for them. Some of us maybe think we don't deserve them because we just have too much on our plate, but it really, really makes a difference. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Love
So
that.
tell everybody where we can find you. How can we find more out about the sound baths and the sound healing? It's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, so I hang out on Instagram and Facebook. I'm Kiki Tyler, and I'm over on TikTok now, trying to pop up some more
Yeah.
spirit sound baths there. And I actually have a sound sanctuary that I've been building. So pre-recorded, daily tune-ups, sound baths, uh, deep relaxation, and custom meditations. And I drop new sound baths and meditations every month. So that's a monthly membership if you want. I wanted to make it accessible to everyone, handpick the
Yeah.
frequencies. Sometimes it can be overwhelming if you go to YouTube and not knowing which frequency or which chakra or anything like that. So I've handpicked them and blended them and created that and had great feedback. A mom reached out to me. She listens to it with her daughter before bed. And I mean, they don't even get into 5 minutes. I think 2.5 minutes, her daughter's asleep. So works better than stories. I was like, yay.
Love it.
And then I did share a link with you for where I find my instruments and where I took one of my other sound healing courses if people are interested and want to go down that path, life-changing energy. Vicki Gold, she's one of the multiple authors in The Secret, and I loved her teaching style as well. It was really easy, totally at home, so you don't have to go anywhere or do anything, and it's just little bite-sized trainings, which was awesome. And
That's awesome.
I haven't posted anywhere yet, but I'm doing a summer special for sound, distance sound, Reiki, or combination sessions.
Cool.
So I shared that link with you. So if you guys want a personal customized session with me, I think it's a 3-pack. So anything you're wanting to break through or work through, it's always more than one because I believe it takes us a long period to get to where we are. So it's not a quick fix. It's not a magic pill. So it may take a few sessions to work through
Right.
where you are and where you want to be. But the other side is there. And I always like to give people hope. So
Love it. Yes, definitely. I'll add the links that you sent to me in the comments here. So definitely check out Kiki. She's doing amazing things and it's definitely awesome. I love it. Thanks so much for coming on here and joining us and sharing with us. I
thank
love
you
it.
so much for having me. What a great way to start my morning.
Yeah, right. All right. Have a great day and I hope everybody else has a wonderful day.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.